Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you are here again, and if you came to this channel through recommendations, don't forget to subscribe because you're gonna see me in your recommended a lot anyway, so why not subscribe, right? And today we're going to talk with you about something that we've been waiting for way too long. And probably that's the most expected and the most exciting collaboration of 2020 and maybe just last couple years, and that's Raf Simons and his first collection as co-creative director of Prada. I'll explain why I'm so excited about this collection. First of all, because Prada is very authentic, true to its style and philosophy brand, and why Miuccia Prada is so well respected in fashion community, it's because sometimes she may have some fashion mistakes, but she's always trying to keep up with time in terms of fashion and just changes in the world. So for example, for this collection and a couple of her previous collections, she was reminding people about sustainability, about equality, about the issues that we've got to pay attention to. As we saw in the last video that they made, a short film basically introducing Raf Simons as new co-creative director. I have a video about it on my channel, you can check it out. And we saw there pretty clear that Miuccia is trying her best to make her brand inclusive, and that's the point. So Miuccia is basically just doing things right, and you gotta give her credit for that. And genuinely, Raf Simons was personally for me a very unexpected person to take a chair of co-creative director, as yes, he's quite classy, minimalistic at times, but also he comes from street style. Maybe he himself doesn't consider his clothing to be street style, but that's technically what his brand is. And taking such a loyal to traditions and well-established brand as Prada, and introducing a complete stranger from streetwear who, let's not forget, doesn't even have a female clothing line. He is going to start it only this year, so he probably doesn't have that much experience working with female clothing, and definitely that's something very interesting for us to be keeping an eye on, because I assume that we will see a lot of growth from both Raf Simons as a designer of women's wear at Prada and Prada as a brand, with Raf Simons being co-creative director. And honestly, when I was watching this interview with Miuccia and Raf, they're just so sweet. It feels like they were made to be together. They're the sweetest people ever. Okay, so let's wrap it up with the sentiments and go to the collection itself. First of all, the collection itself is called Dialogues, so we gotta be prepared for it to be a dialogue between past and present, or past and future, because basically Raf Simons is this new wave, new era of Prada, and of course there is a lot of adjustments to be made. What is interesting about this collection, that it's basically like a fresh start after that totally like basic collection of last season, and addressing the current issues in the fashion industry, what Emily Ratajkowski was talking about, and plenty of other models. That fashion industry basically makes a woman very objectified, and models are basically depersonated. So what Miuccia and Raf did, so in the newest runway show, the model, when she enters the runway, she starts the catwalk, her name pops up on a screen, which I think is very important point in modern dialogue when it comes to fashion industry and just treating people right, not treating them just like a hanger for clothing, you know what I mean? So let's go straight into this collection and discuss it together. If you have anything to say, don't forget that there is a comment section down below. You can leave all your thoughts. They're very much appreciated. Look number one, we see this black, mono black look with white shoes and exaggerated Prada logo, which I assume just migrated from the last season, from that logo mania in previous collection. And all clothing looks like they're made from the famous Prada material, nylon. What is interesting for this collection that they used a new, more sustainable type of nylon that Miuccia introduced as free nylon. So respect for that. We stand sustainability on this channel. It looks like the model is covering herself almost like in a packaging, and we'll just, let's remember this packaging thing for now, and we'll get to it a bit later. So second is pretty much same look, everything is same, exaggerated logo, very classic, very classic silhouettes. For example, this one, that's how do you call this color? Fuchsia? It's like between purple and fuchsia, and that's very classic silhouette, very classic textile. We see that there is not much that Raf influenced on in this particular piece. Let's remember the collection is dialogue between past and future, so that's clearly golden Miuccia. And for example, you can see here same silhouettes and styles from 1992, 1993 and 2003. Very same classic nylon textile. The only thing that changes here is this exaggerated logo, which just symbolizes the trend of our present times. And as Miuccia herself says in last interview that she follows the times, not trying to create something new to make a revolution in fashion, but rather just be a spectator of current social changes and trying to adjust to them. Logo mania is, everyone know, whether you like it or not, you just gotta adjust, and that's what she's doing. Logo looks ugly. I mean, I really like those tiny logos from previous collection, but that looks ugly. So, I mean, we understand what she's trying to say. We will forgive her just because she's a very good person, I guess. This wrap silhouette, nothing interesting, monochrome silhouettes, like clean, nice, what can I say? There is not much to say about it. Those are very classic pleated skirts, like bow looking skirts that Miuccia absolutely loves. Here are some more photos of previous collection where she used this silhouette. So what is interesting about Miuccia that she's pretty consistent with her clothing. If you do like Prada, you will probably enjoy this look. I mean, it's classic Prada. It does not at this point depend on my taste or not. It's just what the brand is. So you cannot really criticize it much for just having an identity. And let's take a look at the next one. And that's very interesting piece. At this point of collection, it's look 15, starts a transition from classic Prada to Raf's Prada. We can see the color, this just fainted pale yellow, which is again classic color of Prada. You can see here some references from previous collections, and those 3D floral thing is classic Prada. But here we see prints, and prints genuinely look like instructions on packaging. We'll see it showing more this industrial packaging style in the next look. So let's take a look. Again, that same thing, 3D florals, utilitarian packaging prints. Prints are getting more and more prominent with every look. So why Prada would do such prints? As Prada just does not go with anything industrial. Prada is chic, whereas Raf is pretty like industrial design. In many interviews since the start of her career, Prada was saying about uniform, and in the latest interview with Raf, both of them were stating that that's the main purpose of the brand now, to find the new uniform. And we can see how the uniform evolves from the first pieces where model is wearing just classic straight Prada 90s silhouettes, Prada 90s colors, and it evolves into this look 23 of a massive oversized hoodie with packaging printing, because what clothing is, what uniform is, it's just packaging. We basically put ourselves into a packaging, trying to explain the world who we are and trying to state who we are. And that's basically how Prada and Raf are seeing modern uniform of Prada woman. She's fashionable, industrial, street styly, but with all of that, she's wearing a classic white pleated skirt, which actually is the favorite piece of clothing of Miuccia season. That's just a perfect harmony. This look, I personally can say that for me, it's just a quintessence of new Prada with Raf Simons, and I like it. I cannot say that I don't like it. It may be not something that I would wear, but it is genuinely aesthetically pleasing, and sometimes you cannot explain why it is aesthetically pleasing. It just is like that. So let's take a look at the next look. Logo just gets bigger, the triangle, and also floral prints. Again, just mix of Prada, classic Prada with Raf. Absolutely everything that we would expect. And what does it say on the hoodie? It says panorama of quiet, panorama of steel, panorama of ours. Joined, sparked, responding. Exactly. So yeah, we remember collection is called the dialogues. So I guess, yeah, that's the dialogue of past, future, and just Prada's efforts to make fashion better, try to adjust to the modern world, modern society. And after those clean merging, like very lightly merging Raf and Prada clothing with more of like a rough touch to it, look 28, it's genuinely just like complete mishmash of Prada and Raf, because unfortunately that's the thing about Prada. She likes these bright, ugly, just disgusting prints for some reason. Most of times I don't understand, is she being serious about it or not? Because for me, Miuccia, she has such a great taste. Why does she end up doing these prints? Like, please, woman, stop. I mean, that's an interesting experiment. It failed, but I hope that there will be better coming. And again, we have those those women wraps. What is interesting, I don't understand what that is. Look 33. It looks like a bag, but a skirt, but a bum bag. I genuinely don't understand. Like, my brain doesn't comprehend what that is. If anybody can explain it to me, you are more than welcome. But that's a cool little industrial belt. I just really hope that this buckle is not made of plastic. How Mr. Matthew Williams likes doing for female Alex clothing, plastic buckles on the dress for $400. Matthew, I'm freaking watching you. And here we have very interesting piece, very classic Prada silhouette of a skirt with industrial belt, and genuinely it looks nice. It looks very high quality. I wonder what the buckle is made of. Piece that I am attracted to for some weird reason is this Look 37 egg-shaped thing with the print. I don't understand. It confuses me, like, how does it work? It's very interesting shape it creates and genuinely looks quite comfy. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Look 39. That's very industrial kind of packaging. I don't understand what is this thing on top, like a cloak. Is it a cloak or just a piece of textile? No, it looks like a cloak. I kind of like it. I don't understand how to wear it, but I do like it. I want to understand what do they say on prints, but it's not clear on the photo. And the last look of the collection is again this wrap with the prints that we've seen before. And let's take a look at this collar, a turtleneck with the hole in a collar. It looks quite interesting. We appreciate the effort. Let's sum up. What did we see today? The collection was a dialogue between classic Miuccia, Prada and Future with Raf Simons as co-creative director, and we already can see very strong industrial influence of Raf Simons and minimalism influence of Raf Simons, because Miuccia herself sometimes has these weird tendencies of going into ugly colors and terrible prints just for the sake of experiment. Out of all her collections, there are approximately like 10% of absolutely disgusting pieces that would everybody just hate. And you know, it's good number. It's good number, because there are brands for whom all collection is like that. I'm not gonna point the fingers at anybody. Overall, it was very interesting to see. It was very nostalgic, I would say. She brought back very classic pieces from 90s and early 2000s of Prada, and it was interesting to remember and cringe a little bit, because silhouettes definitely are not anywhere near to modern. But then when she came with oversized looks and with these cloaks, like wraps that models are wearing, I can see where she's coming from, in the respect that fashion nowadays is, especially how I see it, people are trying to wear like more comfortable, more loose clothes. And I just see, maybe because I live in a Muslim country, I don't see people wearing any short clothing at all, but I feel like people just tend to cover their skin more. I would really love to read your thoughts on the new Prada collection. What do you think about colors? What do you think about silhouettes? And of course, what do you expect from Raf and Miuccia future collaborations? Alright guys, so that was pretty much it for today. Thank you for joining me, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget the thumbs up, and see you in the next one. Bye.